Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. It's your girl LB. Welcome to my channel. Watch with me, LB. What was that? Where I give you, do it again. No. Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. It's your girl LB. Welcome to my channel. Watch with me, LB, where I give you fun, fresh, and funny rants, reviews, and recaps on my favorite movies and TV shows. Before I get into anything, shout out to my Alaskan cousins. Shout out to my indigenous cousins. Shout out to the cousins that live in the frozen tundra, baby. Because when I tell you, I was completely anxious watching this entire episode, and I know my nerves will be shot to shingles for the entirety of this season. Because why is it so cold over there? For me and my little tropical mind, baby, that's wild. You understand? And I want to go to Alaska. That's the killing part about it. I want to go to Alaska real bad. I want to go meet some Alaskan cousins, baby. I want to put me on some snow boots and some of them, you know, they look like a little tennis racket that you put on your feet when you're walking through the snow. I want to say mush them huskies. I don't know if that's the actual thing people say, but in my mind, when I go, I'm going to say it. That's one of my bucket list trips, Alaska and Iceland. I don't know how well I'm going to do. I did not realize that True Detective, the last season, season 3 of my boy Mahershala Ali, he fine, came out 5 years ago. What? That's crazy. So True Detective for me has been some of the best true crime drama that we've had in a long time. Okay, you know, HBO is that's premium content on a Sunday. All right, that's what I expect. I expect this kind of action on a Sunday. I don't expect The Idol. Shout out to Trafalgar because he gonna ride with me for this episode. But anyway, let's get in here and talk about Night Country. True Detective season 4 episode 1, Night Country. I did that all backwards, but you know why we're here to do it. Let's go ahead and do it, okay? Season 4 True Detective is taking place in a fictional town of Ennis, Alaska. The episode opens up with the frozen tundra, baby. It is a beautiful scene, okay? The sun is getting ready to set, and we have a man that's getting ready to hunt some reindeer. Are reindeer and caribou the same thing? I might have to Google it. I don't know why I just thought about that. Yeah, because that's the reindeer. Anyway, right here, stay focused. Okay, so he's trying to hunt, right? Trying to get him some little meat, some little, you know, some wares and stuff out of it. So maybe some little caribou fat. I don't know what he was gonna do with it, but he was in position, ready to do what he do with his rifle. So he sees a group of these caribou out there, and there's one that's separated from the crowd a little bit, right? So he was like, well, shit, I'm gonna just go ahead and get this one. So he turns his gun to shoot the one that's separated from the rest of the crowd, but the one that's separated from the rest of the crowd has a message to his compadres, okay? So the caribou lets out this kind of like yelp, right? And all the other caribou that was minding their business was like, oh shit. You know how when something happens and you outside and something happens and you gotta run and you don't need a run coordinator, you just take off and run and then you're gonna ask questions later? That's the kind of time the caribou was on. The caribou were on a cliff, and when the caribou did his thing and did a yelp, all the caribou took off running toward the cliff. And I'm thinking to myself, they're gonna make like a sharp turn, or like they're gonna, you know, like climb up the mountain or some kind of cliff of some sort. But I was wrong. I was wrong because the caribou said yeet. That's what the kids used to say, yeet, and they yeeted themselves off of the mountainside, the cliff. That's what I'm assuming they did. We don't know. We didn't see if they hit the ground or not. So the man who was hunting was like, I know that you're lying to me. And one thing I can tell you, Mother Nature and the animals, they click tight. They are in constant communication. They will DM each other all the time. So if the animals were picking up on something that made them yeet themselves off of the cliff, I already know it's some morbid shit about to happen. So we are in Ennis, Alaska, and they have titled the town of Ennis, Alaska, like the last place on earth or the furthest place on the globe or something like that. So it's desolate, baby. Ain't nothing out there. It's now in Ennis, Alaska. There is a research station called Tasala. The researchers are off the clock, right? They chilling at home. One of the researchers at the research station is watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the iconic scene with the leopard vest where he done hijacked the float and he's singing, you know, Twist to Shout, the Beatles, you know, and the whole thing. So one of them is watching that. Somebody's exercising. Somebody's, you know, continuing to do a little work. It's like 8 of them there at the research station, all men. One of them, he has his phone propped up on a bottle of Grey Poupon. Okay, shout out to the 90s. He's going live, or he's recording himself making a sandwich, okay? And his sandwich looked delicious. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It probably was because I was hungry when I was watching it, but I was like, goddamn, I love the way the cheese is draped over the side. I'm greedy. Let's move on. So the guy who's recording his sandwich tutorial, all right, you know, has his phone propped up, and the way that his phone is pointed, you can see what's going on behind him. And then there's another dude. Now, you know, once again, y'all, Happy New Year. I'm a creep. Okay, so when the dude with the overcoat on, he started shaking, okay? Because we could only see him from the back. He was good like that. He was giving like completion. You see what I'm saying? I thought that's what that was. I was like, okay, True Detective, let's ease in first before you start giving, you know what I'm saying? But that wasn't it. That wasn't what it was. I thought that's what it was. Comment down below and let me know if you thought that's what it was. But I thought that's, you know, anyway. So the guy who's making the tutorial notices the guy that's shaking, and he turns around and is like, are you okay? And the guy who was shaking looks completely freaked out. And he turns around and says, she's awake. And when you hear him say it, you can also hear like an electromagnetic, like crackling sound. I'm like, well, baby, who is she? What we talking about? Is it like a Yeti? Who is she? And why are you so scared of her? So as soon as old boy says she's awake, the lights go out. Why would they do that? Where is the backup generator? If I'm gonna be in a desolate place, it's gonna be the surface of the sun all the time, 24/7. Especially given the fact that in this part of Alaska, when the sun goes down at this time of the year, it ain't coming back up. The sun is on vacation, okay? And when I was a kid, I remember thinking, why would the sun do that? Like when I first learned that happens in parts of the world, it completely freaked me out, because one thing you can guarantee is that the sun gonna come up in the morning, and if it don't, that means you dead. So why would the sun not come up? And I had so many questions, and the teacher was like, "L, let's move on. The earth, you know what I'm saying? It's the tilt." And that wasn't sitting right with my spirit. The research station is getting a delivery, all right? And you know, if I was at the research station, I would be at the door. I would be popping them blinds and door popping for the deliveries. So the delivery man is coming. He's playing Inner Circle. And the song is called Sweat. The song is about a man who wants this woman, right? But the lyrics of the song are talking about him being tongue-tied, okay? Which is why he's so he's tongue-tied, right? When I realized that song and then what happened later on in the show, I'm like, y'all out of pocket. Y'all are out of pocket, okay? Because I get it, I got it. The delivery man is coming, pulling up to the station, and the guy's like, hey, I'm here. Like, I know y'all know I'm here. Where are y'all? I got y'all Funyuns. What's good? Like, where is everybody? So he goes into the research station, is like, hello. Nobody's there. So he has his little clipboard on the table, and he knocks his keys down. And when he knocks his keys down, he gets freaked out by what he sees on the ground. What he sees on the ground should never be on the ground, folks. What he saw on the ground is supposed to always be where it's at when you're born. It was a tongue. One of those. It was a tongue. Why was it there? What was it doing there? And old boy that was making a delectable, delicious sandwich, his phone was still propped up. The delicious, delectable sandwich was still being delicious and delectable on the table. But a sandwich is portable, baby. So if I'm going, my sandwich is coming with me. So why would the sandwich be there? Now we meet Alaska State Trooper Navarro, okay? I love her real bad. I don't know nothing about her, but baby, when I saw her face, she got the double piercings in her situation. She tatted up, and I love her real bad, because she walks into this crab processing plant thing because there's a dispute. Navarro, as a person, her whole thing is, we're not gonna be doing no abusive shit around here. It's too cold outside. All right, everybody keep your hands to yourself, because once again, goddamn it, it's too cold outside. Now we back over there by research station, right? So Chief Danvers, all right, played by Jodie Foster, is coming to investigate. The people gone, the delivery man done told the authorities, now they over there investigating. So as soon as Chief Danvers gets inside the research facility, she hears the Twist and Shout song. Right now, remember I told you at the beginning, before the people disappeared, the man was watching the movie Ferris Bueller with the Twist and Shout song on the movie. But the Twist and Shout part of the movie was still playing by the time they called the investigators. They got down there and it was already investigated. They couldn't figure out how to turn it off, but it kept playing that one little part of the movie. What? Soon as she got into the place, she heard the song and she was like, where is it coming from? And she took off running, trying to turn the song off. And I was like, bitch, what did the song... Danvers is there with one of the deputies or the officers from the department, and his name is Hank Pryor. Hank Pryor has a son named Peter Pryor, who's also a deputy or an officer working for Danvers, working with Danvers, and they at the station investigating. I don't trust Hank. He was shifty. He was giving me shifty. I don't know. I'm putting a pin on him. I don't know. I don't like him. Shifty. So Danvers said, you know, let's go ahead and call in the choppers. Let's get the shit going because we like behind the 8 ball. We like running late. And then Hank, shifty, was like, well, no, I don't think we should do that because, you know, maybe they just out on like a nighttime expedition and you don't want people to get worried because whatever. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't you want to do that? Like, you, like, first of all, it's not like we, you know, in downtown Miami. Like, we in the middle of the frozen tundra at the end of the world. Y'all named it that. Ain't nobody gonna be outside lollygagging. It's 2 degrees outside. But it seemed like Hank was trying to, you know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. Danvers gets back to her office and Navarro is waiting on her. And Navarro was like, let me see that tongue, bro. Navarro, when she used to work with Danvers and now she is a Alaska State Trooper, right? But they know each other because, baby, she was waiting on Danvers at the door, literally. And so she wants to see the tongue because there was a case that Navarro worked of an indigenous woman, an Inupiaq woman who was murdered and her tongue was cut out. And Danvers made a comment and was like, how you know that it's an Inupiaq woman? What did your spirit animal tell you that it's an Inupiaq woman? And so Navarro is indigenous, right? So Navarro was like, no, bitch. She ain't say that. She said, no, my spirit animal eats old white ladies for breakfast, right? So Danvers made like a disparaging remark. And I also want to say, like, when y'all say, oh yeah, you know, Billie Eilish is my spirit animal, don't say that. Just, you know, just a heads up. I'm not indigenous, but I'm just gonna say on behalf, don't say, you know, my spirit animal is Bob Marley. You know, don't say that because that's, you know, that's disrespectful and we don't want to say that. Just like a little heads up, okay? Just try to bring that into your 2024. Anyway, so I was like, Danvers, why you said that like that? I was on your team, but I ain't like how you said that like that. Especially because I like Navarro. That's my girl. Danvers gets a call from some lady and she's like, you need to come down here right now. So turns out Danvers has a daughter. So Danvers' daughter and the lady who called her was like, come down to the were, you know, trying to do grown folk things with they teenagers and they were making videos. And so they driving down the street, Danvers and her daughter, and they, you know, slipped on some ice and almost hit a car, but it was a drunk driver. Like this lady is known to be like a drunk driver. So Danvers like scoops her ass up and like arrests her. The lady got out the car bleeding and crying and howling. She sounds just like a husky, like a dog, like a seal that just be wailing at the moon. Seals don't wail at the moon, girl. Come on now. She sound like a banshee, just like a ghoul. Like it was a dark and stormy night. She was just like, you know. Anyway, so now back over there with Danvers, she's with Peter, the young deputy of, you know, the son of the shifty deputy, Hank. So Peter and Danvers are talking because Danvers at the research station told Lil Petey to figure out who was funding the research station. So he trying to give her the tea, but the lady that almost hit Danvers in a car that she hemmed up and brought to jail, that girl, I don't even know how you can even make a noise that sound like that. But she literally sound like a caribou. Like she literally sound like a wild animal. And so the lady was hollering, and so they couldn't concentrate, right? He was getting ready to give her the tea about who was funding the research, please. And I'm like, well, damn it. Shut up, bitch. Like, we trying to learn things. Oh, she sound like Dory when Dory was trying to speak well and Finding Nemo. I'm like, girl, knock it off, please. So Danvers goes in the back and sees that Hank is trying to let the lady out. And she's like, Danvers is like, no, the hell no. She drunk driving in the street. You're not about to let her out just because she give you, you know, head from time to time. And I'm like, oh, does she give you head to get out of jail? Or does she give you head off her own volition? Like, what, talk to me about this head giving and receiving situation. It's after hours. Petey then went home to his girlfriend and his son. Petey is either dating or married to an indigenous girl named Kayla. They have a little baby named Darwin. Darwin is so cute, okay? Darwin got dimples and fluffy cheeks. I love a fluffy cheek, dimpled up baby. Ooh. Danvers calls Pete at home and is like, hey, I need you to go by your daddy's house and get these files on Annie K. So apparently there was some like flood at the office or whatever, and the daddy, Hank, took a bunch of files to his house, right? And so Danvers asked for him earlier, and he was like, oh, I don't know if I got them. I might have to go and see. And he ain't never checked, child. So Danvers was like, go by your daddy's house, go get these files for me, and bring them to my house. And Pete was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do that, because if I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, he gonna really beat my ass if he catch me with these files. And so he goes in the room, and he's stalling, trying to find these files. There's boxes and boxes and drawers of files. So he finally finds the files, chucks them bitches out the back door, and almost gets caught by his dad. But so he gets out of there with the files, brings them to Danvers' house. Danvers is there and kind of explains to him about the case, about how Annie K was an activist in this, and they have a mine. Annie K was protesting the mines because it's bad for the environment, it's bad for the water, it's bad for the land. You know, indigenous people are not playing with you about their land and their water and their air. And people were pissed at Annie K because it's giving us jobs. Like, what the hell we gonna do if we don't have this mine? Like, we all can't be fishermen. We all can't be crabbers. Because she was viciously murdered. And she was stabbed like 30-something times. They like burned her and like stabbed her with a star-shaped weapon, which is how, you know, coroner said that they dumped her body after she was, you know, deceased, and they kicked her after she was deceased, and they cut her tongue out. So she, like, that was fucked up, right? Because she thinks that there's a connection. Navarro is leaving the liquor store. She got her little, you know, razzle dazzle, right? I guess it's the weekend, child. I don't know. It could have been a Tuesday. I don't know. I would need to probably drink heavily if I ain't had shit to do either. Anyway, she is driving down the street, and she's talking to, I think somebody connected to Annie K, right? And she's asking questions, and she says, did Annie have any connections to the research station that's up over there by the such and such? And as soon as she asked about the research station, before the lady could respond, it's like, you know when you used to listen to the radio back in the day and you used to have to change the channel and you would get staticky as soon as she mentioned the research station. And I'm like, are y'all listening to her? Like, what's going on? And then while that happened, she driving down the street and she got a slam on brakes. It's a big Mondo Deluxe ass polar bear in the middle of the street. And the polar bear looking at Navarro, and Navarro looking at the polar bear, and the polar bear got one eye. Okay, let me tell you something, baby. I'm not messing with no animal missing no parts. Okay, I'm not messing with no animal, period. But damn sure I'm leaving the polar bear with one eye to his own devices, or her own devices, or their own devices. I don't know what their pronouns are. All I know is the polar bear had one eye and was looking Navarro square in both of hers with the one that it had left. No, ma'am. At this point, y'all in the polar bear's house. I will always give much respect and reverence to the polar bear. So already it's a scrappy ass polar bear. And polar bears are the most dangerous bears on the planet. Polar bears are not to be fucked with. That's why they up there by themselves. Because they know they on some bullshit. They're not social animals. So they say, well, you know what? Let me go way up here where I don't have to get in nobody's face and I don't have to see nobody and nobody got to see me. But if you come up here, I'm liable to scratch your ass sideways. I would die, okay? Bury me in the car that I died in. Just take the whole car, wait till spring, wait till the land thaw out, put the whole car in the ground, and bury me like a soldier. Bury me like a G, baby, because what? And then the polar bear just turned around and walked down the street like it was about to go home, like it had just got off work. Where are you going, sir? Nobody saw it. Navarro, I saw it. Immediately, no. Book me on the first flight up out of here, baby. Danvers has the case files from Annie K. Danvers has printed out the pictures and all the pictures that she could find of the men that have gone missing from the research station. She at the house, she investigate, right? So she puts all the pictures on the floor and she's like putting them together. It's like she's trying to see if there's connections between this person and that person and this time of day and that time of day. And she notices that one of the men that were missing is wearing the coat of Annie K. And something's going on. She doesn't really know what it is, neither do we. But when she's organizing these pictures, we get a shot of her where she's placed them in a spiral, okay? Now, I don't remember season 2 of True Detective, but I remember season 1 and I remember season 3. And so I know for sure in season 1, there were spirals, right? Things that were like a tattoo of a spiral. There was like things that were set up like a spiral, sticks and shit. I ain't going into all of that, but I know for sure in season 1 and season 3, there was a spiral. And I don't know why she would put pictures in a spiral. I don't know what that means, But I do know that that was a thread that has connected True Detective throughout the season. Danvers is like, yeah, it's something going on. One thing Jodie Foster gonna do, baby, is investigate some shit. You not gonna put Jodie Foster in a situation where she not gonna get to the bottom of it. I don't give a damn if she in a prison, on a plane, in a tundra, underwater, in a car, boat, or train. She gonna get to the bottom of it, goddammit. Put her on the case. There's a lady in this town named Rose. All right, Rose is, you know, the little lady in your neighborhood or your town or your, you know, in your little neck of the woods that just, you know, she a little, you know what I mean, does her own thing. You know what I'm saying? She's not gonna do what everybody else doing. She does her own thing and she stay out the way. That's who Rose is in this scenario. Now, Rose is played by, what's her name? I can't remember her first name, but I think her last name is Shaw. That Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter. Aunt Petunia could kick rocks. All right, she could kick rocks eternally. All right, the lady that played Aunt Petunia is playing Rose in True Detective season 4, Night Country. Now, it's a man standing off into the distance, maybe about 50 feet away from her. No shoes, no socks, no hat, no gloves, no scarf, no winter gear. And it's 2 degrees outside. So what is happening here, okay? Because I'm thinking, okay, this person, if they're not dead in this scene, the next time we see them, they're going to be dead. They're not going to have no feet. Nothing below the knees will be available for use because frostbite immediately. Because why are you outside with no nothing on? So the man and Rose look at each other, and Rose is like, oh Lord, let me go see what you going. So I'm thinking, well, that maybe that's like her brother or like her estranged husband. She just leave him in the wilderness because that's where he like to be. I don't know. But baby, Rose get out here. Rose put her shit on now. Rose put her little hat on and her little, you know, bundles, and she get outside with her sturdy light, you know, flashlight, and she follows this man. And she follows this man buku fall into the darkness. I don't trust nobody that much. I immediately know, but Rose did it. The man turns around and starts doing a liturgical dance. I'm not joking. All right. I don't know what this was. I don't know who this man was. I don't know if this was an indigenous something that meant it was something like meaningful. I don't know what it was, baby. But in my mind, to my black Christian self, that was a liturgical dance. All right. The man started doing a liturgical dance in the middle of the frozen tundra with no shoes and socks on. All right. And then he points to the left, and then Rose looks to the left, and goes over there. Y'all, why the man done gave the lady the location of a terrible, terrible sight? Baby, the missing scientists were frozen in the ground, and all that was left was from the neck up, all right? And the faces that these people were made, I didn't even know that was possible, baby, because they were petrified. Do you understand me? Like terror, like trying to grab out for like some kind of help, and their hands were frozen outside of the snow or the ice. That was ice, baby. That wasn't snow. Snow is friendly. Snow is not even friendly either, child. Anyway, frozen outside, giving thriller hands, petrified faces, eyes open, frozen solid in the ground. Immediately no. Because why? What you doing? Why were they there? Who did that? And how do you freeze? It was like somebody, I don't even know. I don't know. It was like they were like frozen in the ground. That was terrible. That's a terrible way to die, babe. I don't know nothing about ice. I am the most ill-prepared person when it comes to cold weather events, baby. I'm in the northernmost part of the Caribbean. I ain't got nothing for ice or snow. So that's how they found the people. omg.com.org.edu. Baby, I was like, that is a horrible way to go. Oh, I felt so bad. And who did that? And how did they do it? Because how would you even get them in there? Don't, like, when people die in like really, really cold places, they gotta like store the body and wait till spring till the ground thaw out and then they can bury them. Because how they did that? It's the middle of the winter time, baby. The sun done gone down and it ain't coming back up for another 30 days. And that, my friends, is where the episode ends. All right, it ended on petrified. It ended on frozen. It ended on frostbite. What? I'm excited about it. HBO, y'all better cut it out. Excuse me, Max. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of this episode. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way to open up the season. We're only getting 6 episodes of True Detective Season 4 Night Country. Bundle up, bitch. Bundle up, because they got a lot of stuff that they got to cover. 2 thumbs up for me, okay? I love a good, like, confusion in a show, all right? I love a good confusion. True Detective usually be confusing the shit out of me. It's very complicated sometimes, but I feel like I'm gonna just keep up with this one, and we're gonna do it together, okay? We're gonna be click tight. Indigenous cousins, let me know what you thought about the episode and the inclusion of the indigenous cousins, the indigenous culture, the indigenous practices, and all the things in True Detective, because I would love to get your perspective on that. I can't wait to talk to y'all in the comments, and I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.